G'day everybody, Greg Rust, Simon Chapman and Greg Murphy with you for another edition of the SpeedCafe.com Summer Grill, proudly brought to you by KTM Motorcycles. Fantastic to have them with us this year, and we are coming to you from the Hampton Downs circuit where they're doing a bit of testing for the New Zealand Grand Prix coming up at the end of January. We're going to focus in this episode on the winners and losers of the Supercars silly season, and what a season it turned out to be. Man, there was some movement both in an engineering sense and in the driver lineups.
For sure, and the biggest one, I guess, to start with is Dick Johnson Racing. They've lost Team Penske's support, but they've gained two new drivers in Anton De Pasquale and Will Davison. So an interesting setup there. Obviously, Ryan Story now taking over as the managing director. He's adamant that everything's going to be just as it was before. So it'll be interesting to see how they shape up next year. I think Anton is a big winner, and Will Davison especially is a big winner considering everything that he went through at the start of this year. Triple Eight,
stable driver lineup, but they lose Grant McPherson.
Yeah, and that's pretty significant. I mean, Triple Eight have obviously played that down, and they do have a plethora of very, very good people in that organisation. That's why they've been near the top, if not the top team, for such a long period of time. But you know, the winner out of that one, clearly, is Walkinshaw and Andretti United. Having someone like Grant go there with a lot of information up there in that brain is a really good get in my book. How's it going to affect Shane Van Gisbergen? They had a really good relationship, didn't they? They worked together incredibly well. You need that really sort of unspoken language and vibe between an engineer and a driver for good success, and they've had really, really good success. So we'll see how that plays out. But certainly him going to Walkinshaw and Andretti United, I think it takes them up another layer. They're going to be really exciting to watch this year.
Great to see that Tim Slade will be back in a full-time position with the support of Cool Drive in a Mustang and operation out of Melbourne.
Yeah, so Tim Slade obviously moving to Tim Blanchard Racing. He's had a year off. Coronavirus sort of threw his year out of whack. He was going to do the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Unfortunately, couldn't do that because of travel restrictions, but he's reinvigorated. Talking to him recently, at the end of 2019, he sort of felt like things weren't quite going his way, but he got that podium in Newcastle when he felt like he was sort of the best he's ever been. So for him to come back into the fold full time in 2021, I think it's going to be really interesting, especially in a car that is super competitive. In the hands of Will Davison, it was top 5 straight out of the box in Adelaide. James Courtney did some pretty good stuff in it as well. So I'm fascinated to see how they go. Obviously, it's a one-car operation, and they're going solo, but they've still got a little bit of an alliance with Tickford. They've got their engines, they've got their chassis. So I'm not sure how they'll shape up, but you've got some good talent there as well.
The whole silly season kind of shifted up a gear with the announcement that Rick Kelly was going to stop. What did you think of that? I mean, you've won 2 Bathursts with him, and that's a big blow, and no one kind of really saw it coming, did they?
No, it's a big blow, and I feel for Rick, and I don't think he should be finishing his career as a full-time driver as it is, but I also understand the pressures, the strains, the stresses behind it all. He stepped away from a sort of a management team ownership point of view a little while ago, but still hasn't been able to get what he needs or find a way to be able to make it all work so he can be back on that successful rung of the ladder where he deserves to be. And I remember way back in 2008, I think it was, when we were talking about or maybe it was the end of 2007, when he was trying to decide if he should go and be a part of the family business or should he be going and being a race car driver somewhere else and just be a paid hired hand. And he obviously went down the path of family business stuff, and I think that turned out to be a really, really tough deal and really hard on him, and he just was never able to achieve exactly what I expected and probably what a lot of other people probably expected he could achieve. But clearly he didn't see the future for him continuing down that path, and made the very, very tough call to step sideways. Where he's going to end up in an enduro sort of fashion is yet to be determined, but that was a significant one for the championship.
So we know Will Brown's coming in at Erebus, some change in engineering terms as far as the departure of McVeigh and Mirko are concerned. What about at Tickford there? I mean, for James Courtney, support of Boost Mobile this year, and he's sort of cemented, isn't he?
Yeah, he sort of had a rocky 2020 to start off. It seems like a long time ago that we were at Adelaide. He kicked off things with Jonathan Webb's team, and then a couple of weeks after, he wasn't racing anymore, and we thought that was the last we'd see of James Courtney. And then obviously there was the fallout with 23 Red Racing, Phil Monday's team going under, Will Davison losing his drive, and then all of a sudden James gets a rebirth. You know, he's back in the fold, and he's got Peter Addison's support, and he's back full time, and now he's secured within that fold, and it's just been absolutely chaotic for James really this year, hasn't it?
Hugely chaotic, you know, and who would have thought that it would have turned out the way it has, and now he's cemented himself back in there with the Boost Mobile support, which is fantastic. You know, James still has a lot to offer in my book. I think if you don't recognise him as a brilliant race car driver, then you're not looking closely enough. So you know, he's going to need to, you know, put a stamp on a few things this year just to cement himself. And you know, how long's his future? I don't know, but moving forward past 2021, who knows? But you know, he still has the ability. You know, as long as he's still got the drive to actually perform and get the job done. So you know, I think that's going to be one to watch.
There's been plenty of headlines throughout the year as far as the silly season is concerned, and no doubt we will have some more. The place to find out about it all, of course, is speedcafe.com. And that wraps up another edition of the Summer Grill, proudly brought to you by our good friends at KTM Motorcycles. And when we come back for episode 4, a very special guest is going to join us here on set as we talk the Bathurst 1000. KTM are giving away some awesome summer essentials each week. Stay cool with a KTM Powerwear pack featuring a shirt, cap, thongs or jandals, sunglasses and lanyard. To enter the draw, all you need to do is subscribe to Speed Cafe in the sign up box below this video. It is that easy. And we'll have another episode of the KTM Summer Grill for you tomorrow. Stay tuned.